The upcoming video game title named Wildgate is seemingly shaping up to be one of 2025's most ambitious multiplayer shooters. Developed by Moonshot Games under the Dreamhaven's banner, this new game title brings fast-paced first-person shooter action with some strategic crew-based ship combat. The game brings with it high-stake extraction gameplay. You and your team of up to 4 players dive into the Reach, a big area of space. 20 players and 5 crews compete to claim the so-called legendary artifacts. Gameplay-wise, gamers will battle using their ships and on-foot combat. As well, players will engage in high competition, first-person shootouts, while exploring and mining asteroids. Also, your crew members will have to manage different duties when it comes to the upkeep of your ships, like piloting, gunning, repairing, and managing resources like fuel and ammo. Epic ship-to-ship battles. Each crew ship is customizable with canyons, turrets, gadgets, and traps. Also, folks, you cannot have a spaceship multiplayer game without having these cool gameplay features, such as ambushing, sabotaging, or boarding your enemy ships, whether from the bridge or by grappling in during chaotic skirmishes. The Reach is ever evolving. Random hazards like cosmic storms, space lava, roaming space vermin, and drifting ice provide as much challenge as rival crews. Now, each character has specialized tools and passive abilities, pilots, tricksters, brawlers, and more, which should encourage creative teamwork, which again, it's a multiplayer game for Christ's sake, so it should. Every match will be unique thanks to the generated spawn points, loot spots, and the environmental threats. Juggling the ship systems like repairing holes or dousing off fires while fending off boarders and rival crews creates a tense, emergent experience. Also, apparently these matches will typically last 20 to 30 minutes, leading to dramatic finales when crews clash over their artifact or pile into the gate, which is cool in itself. And finally, Wildgate isn't just another shooter, it merges FPS gunplay, tactical naval style battles in space, and extraction shooter dynamics into one thrilling package. Whether you love strategic ship duels, heart-pounding on-foot combat, or emergent chaos with your crew, Wildgate promises to be a fresh and exhilarating journey. Get ready to descend into the blood-soaked chaos of Killing Floor 3, the newest title in the series, and Tripwire's interactive highly co-op shooter series set in the hellish year of 2091, 70 years after the events of its previous entry, into a world where the sinister megacorporation has unleashed a horde of bioengineered zombie-like creatures known as Zeds. It seems like the only resistance lies with Nightfall, a rogue rebel group determined to halt this nightmarish onslaught. Built on the powerful Unreal Engine 5, Killing Floor 3 delivers a darker, grittier aesthetic that harkens back to the series' horror roots. The game will introduce 6 unique specialists, each equipped with distinct weapons and abilities. For instance, the Ninja class wields dual swords and utilizes a grappling hook, while the Engineer class can deploy shock traps to control the battlefield. Gameplay-wise, the game enhances movement mechanics, including climbing, dodging, and sliding, adding a new layer of technical depth, allowing players to navigate the game's more vertical and treacherous environments. The combat is more intense and strategic, with a reduced number of enemies per wave, each now more difficult and equipped with advanced AI behaviors. Players can engage in 6-player co-op or tackle this crazy world solo, facing off against new and terrifying Zed variants like the wall-crawling crawlers and the formidable Impaler. Between waves, your so-called safe spot Stronghold hub offers the opportunity to upgrade weapons, unlock new skills, and undertake optional narrative missions that delve deeper into the game's lore. Early previews and beta tests have highlighted the game's refined mechanics and atmospheric tension. Content creators and fans alike have praised the game's commitment to delivering a challenging and immersive horror experience. With its blend of strategic gameplay, co-op action, and relentless terror, Killing Floor 3 promises to be a standout title in the horror shooter genre. As the release date approaches, anticipation builds for what could be the most intense and immersive entry in the Killing Floor series yet. Alright gamers, whether you're a veteran Zed Slayer or new to the franchise, prepare to join the fight against Horizon's monstrous creations in a battle for humanity's survival. Phantom Squad is a gritty tactical top-down shooter from Control Freak, published by Super Rare Originals, launching on PC via Steam on July 18th. You play as one of the shadowy members of the official KIA operatives. They're pretty much ghost soldiers working without allegiance to any nation, carrying out missions wherever international jurisdictions can't reach. You'll team up with up to 3 other players to form a deadly Scrag unit, coordinating each move in real time, scouting entry points, tagging enemies, and deciding who takes the first shot. But once the bullets start flying, all that planning can fall apart in seconds. Apparently, each mission throws players into unpredictable environments, abandoned labs, urban war zones, jungle compounds, where the only way out is through. With over 20 tactical gadgets to master, from heartbeat sensors to breaching tools, every run is a chance to refine your strategy or improvise under fire. And that's what makes Phantom Squad a standout multiplayer game. It's not just about skill, it's about trust, timing, and total teamwork. The full game launches July 18th on Steam, but if you're ready to prove you've got got what it takes, the free demo is out now, and obviously the game itself. Abiotic Factor is set to officially launch out of early access with a 1.0 update titled Code Fusion on July 22nd, and it's bringing a massive wave of new content and a bit of polished game mechanics. Developed by Deep Field Games, this sci-fi survival crafting game will now be available on PC and the Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5. With full access on day one for Game Pass and PlayStation Plus subscribers, the game lets up to 6 players team up as stranded scientists trying to survive in a vast, chaotic underground research facility filled with experimental otherworldly threats. The 1.0 update introduces an entirely new biome called the Resident Sector, a creepy new area inspired by the classic office complexes with cold hunting hallways, a mysterious archive known as the Praetorium, and quirky discoveries like the in-game taco mind food stall. Players will also be able to upgrade weapons and armor through a new crafting system, allowing for deep customization and even resetting character builds mid-game. As well, the environmental hazards are getting an overhaul too, with dynamic events like blackouts, black fog, and cold snaps that add real-time survival challenges. Apparently, the base defense has been reworked based on player feedback. Enemy raids now come from outside, making them more intense and strategic. New creatures like the Leech, which feeds on power sources, and a variety of new buildable tools like the decontamination showers and dimensional storage chests, with over 96% positive reviews on Steam during the early access, and a fully completed main story in the release. Abiotic Factor 1.0 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting co-op survival games of the year, especially for fans of the Half-Life style sci-fi mix with deep crafting and exploration. Terminal Brigade is an upcoming third-person roguelike shooter developed by Pew Pew Games and published by Level Infinity, set to launch on July 29th as a free-to-play title on PC via Steam and Epic Games. This brand new game title drops players into a neon-drenched sci-fi world called the Nullverse, where they take on the role of customizable characters known as Ruggeteers. Each mission unfolds through procedurally generated levels filled with enemy hordes, chaotic boss battles, and an ever-evolving set of challenges. What seems to set this game apart is its focus on deep run-based progression with powerful relics, character talents, and loot-based upgrades that dramatically change how each playthrough feels. And what makes Terminal Brigade especially compelling is its multiplayer design. Up to 4 players can jump into a squad, each bringing their own Ruggeteer class with unique skills and playstyles. The cooperative gameplay leans heavy into timing, reviving teammates under pressure, and adapting to the chaos around players, pretty much making every session unpredictable and engaging. According to the developers, Terminal Brigade is meant to be a true roguelike experience at its core, with an emphasis on build crafting and a loop that rewards coordination and replayability. Here it's about smart decisions, team dynamics, and adapting on the fly. Critics and creators alike who played early builds have drawn comparisons to games like Risk of Rain 2, RoboQuest, and even the loot-driven energy of Borderlands. But it seems like the difference lies in its structure and pacing. Where those games lean more into open-ended or sandbox-style design, Terminal Brigade keeps the action tight and focused, with linear missions, gauntlets that escalate with every phase. And going back to the comparison part, some people did mention echoes of Hades, especially in the way of relics and perks, as branching decisions that shape your entire build. But it seems like what separates this game is its third-person perspective, its emphasis on vertical movement and rolling combat, and the sheer variety of relic combinations that create endless ways to play. Whether you're diving in solo or teaming up with friends, Terminal Brigade is shaping up to be a standout multiplayer experience that blends intense action with deep role-like progression, something that feels both familiar and refreshingly different at the same time.